Well, good afternoon, all you crypto winners. This message today is going out to the YouTube community as well as our private community. We like to call them the Binge Team community with the same abbreviation as Bitcoin BTC. But anyway, this is a message for both groups of people. And this is something that I've had on my mind a lot lately, and then I found myself in a conversation about it this morning. And so I said, well, I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to cut a video about this. And I've been thinking about what the name of this video will be. And so the name of this video, and it is for everyone in the crypto community, is going to be Most People Confuse Wishing and Wanting with Pursuing. And I think you understand what I mean when I say pursuing. It could be a goal, it could be a dream, it could be whatever it is you're after. But most people confuse wishing and wanting with pursuing. The reason I decided to name it that is because what I want to talk to you guys about today has nothing to do with charting. We're not going to talk about any, 35, 50x coin trades. We've got tons of that going. We're not going to talk about whether Bitcoin's going to break up or down because you know what? In the end, it's going up. So let it break down. If it breaks down further from here and goes down to the 24, 25, 26 region, guess what? Everyone gets to buy more of their favorite coin. So whatever coin it is you want, it'll follow Bitcoin down most likely, and you get to buy it cheaper. And then we go up. So, whether Bitcoin's going to break down or break up out of this symmetrical triangle is irrelevant to this talk. So let me just get into it with you. One of the things that I teach over at the BitcoinAcademy.net and over at our new Binge Team community, which you can get to if you go to our Patreon channel. The Patreon channel is patreon.com/CryptoJ. And you can join the thousands of other people that have been a part of what we're doing. And that is teaching people everything I've learned in 20 years, teaching people everything my partner has learned in 20 years in the tech world, and at the same time, everybody in the community gets to follow along with my personal trades. So if I'm taking it, I'm putting it out to the group. Come over and ask them how that's going. I can tell you up front, we have had no losing trades in the entire time in crypto. Every target we've ever put out so far has been hit, and we've got a really, really great track record. Now, we are not day traders, we are swing traders, and so our targets are long-term targets. And sometimes we're in a trade for a year, sometimes we're in a trade for 2 years, but when we come out, it's wealth creation mode. It's not just making money mode. So come join us. Anyway, one of the things I teach there is I teach everyone, especially as they come into crypto, that you need to take one bull market, one full bull cycle. And if you don't understand the cycle that all asset classes go through, again, come join our community. I teach the cycle. But you need to go through one cycle just to set yourself up for that, say, 5 to 10 year time frame ahead of you. So what do I mean by that? Well, most anybody could come into crypto with even $5,000 or $10,000 at the right time at the beginning of a bull cycle. And if you have help, and that's what I offer is help, that's what my partner offers, we offer help. If you have help, you can turn that into a very large nest egg of money. You can't do it as well if you come in and just hodl. But if you come in and you understand taking profits at reflection points, at some of your intermediate tops, and then getting back in the market like I just did. I just took a massive trade off of Ethereum at $4,260. And I put the trade back on at $21.50. So again, doesn't that take me to a new level when Ethereum goes to its next new high? It absolutely does. So again, if you've got a little help, you can take a small amount of capital, I would say easily $50,000, maybe possibly $25,000. And in a bull cycle, you can set yourself up for an entire decade. And the reason that that's important is because, look, you need to have the ability to make enough capital from your seed to also be able to take out enough capital to fund your life for a 10-year period. So what lifestyle are you living? Are you living a $100,000 year lifestyle? You need $1 million for 10 years. Are you living a $250,000 lifestyle? You need $2.5 million to go 10 years, right? But then you also need to have enough capital to put back in the market at the bottom of the next bear cycle to go to the next bull cycle. How many bull cycles are there in crypto? Nobody knows, and I don't pretend to know either, but I will tell you this. I believe in my heart of hearts that we've got at least 3 to 5 more bull cycles before crypto goes completely what I would call stagnant. In other words, it moves more towards a secure environment where the price is not, it's going to lose all of its volatility, is what I'm trying to say. And that volatility is your friend if you know what you're doing. That volatility is what allows you to set yourself up for 10 years. So without the volatility, you could never do it. So don't even consider bad-mouthing the volatility of crypto. Embrace it, but just learn and understand how to embrace it and how to make it your best friend. You need someone who's done it, and I've done it for 20 years. When I was a Forex trader, the only thing I traded was the Great British Pound against the Japanese Yen. And I did that because I wanted that volatility, and it became my friend. It can become your friend too. So anyway, I teach people to set themselves up with one bull cycle for at least a 5 to 10 year reign, and then once they go into their next bull cycle, that's your opportunity to set you and your family up for life. So for example, if you came into one bull cycle and you had 50 to 100K and you came out the other end with say $2.5 million to $5 million, and you said, well look, I can easily get by on 10 years on $2 million, so I'm going to come back into the next bull cycle at the bottom. And again, we teach all of that. My entire team on the binge team, the entire community was buying every phenomenal crypto at the bottom. 7 cents on Theta, 2 cents on Cardano, $70 to $100 on Ethereum. I mean, this is what I teach, guys. So they all had that opportunity because they were there. You'll have that opportunity too if you're there. So what I'm saying to you is come back into your next bull market, but now you've got a nest egg of a couple $1 million you've been living on. So you've been able to enter the binge team by bringing you and your family home. You no longer have to chase dollar bills for at least the next 10 years. It's covered. Okay? Now you're not buying Lamborghinis. You're not, purchasing a new house on the Intercoastal Waterway down in Florida. You're not doing any of that yet. All you've done is get your freedom so that you own your own calendar. Now, next bull market, you're going to take that seed capital of $3 million. Now again, think back. What did you do the first bull market with? Oh, 50 to 100K. Now you're coming into a bull market with $3 million. Now you get to 100x $3 million. Do you understand the amount of wealth you can create in a bull market 100xing $3 million and grabbing most everything in that bottom 20% of its price? You can absolutely set you and your family and your loved ones up for an absolute eternity. Nobody needs to do a thing for the rest of their life. You guys all own your own calendars. You owe no man nothing but your love, and that's a sweet, sweet place to be. Now, the reason that I added the title is that most people confuse wishing and wanting with pursuing is because most people do wish and most people do want that exact scenario. Like if you said, hey, would you take this scenario or would you take the 60-year plan of going out, keeping your nose clean, working a job, switching a job, and switching another job, and switching to another job, and switching to another job, Would you take that, or would you rather have the 2 to 5 year game plan? Most people will take this one, even though I haven't talked about any Lamborghinis or yachts yet. Most people will take this game plan over the other. So here's what I'm going to get at with you. Most people not only don't even have a game plan, as I've just discussed, but they also truly don't understand what it is. They really don't understand what it is to have to live for a number of years on their earnings. And so what I mean by that is that let's say you're used to making $150,000 a year. If you now have to live on earnings that you've put together for yourself in your own nest egg, and you have to say, okay, that has to last me 10 years. The mental toughness that you have to have for that versus just showing up and getting a paycheck. Because look, guys, let's face it, a salary and even benefits that you're offered from some company is something that you're given when they want you to forget about your dreams. Let me say that again. A salary or even your benefits that are coming from the company you work at, that's something that you're given when they, the corporate environment, wants you to forget about your dreams. Because if you'll just forget about your dreams and come punch a clock, we'll make life so easy for you. Come put your 9 to 5 in. You can complain about it on the weekends. You get 2 days off for good behavior, but be back in jail on Monday morning. And this is the ongoing day to day to day to day to day. And so most people are willing to take that over the risk they have to take to go out and actually get their dreams. Well, now what you're doing in crypto is you're trying to do both. So you're trying to actually put a little bit of capital that you've saved up into crypto. Some of you it's the wrong money. Some of you it's your mortgage money. Some of you it's your kid's college fund. Some of you it's savings that you shouldn't be using. And that's okay. Everybody has to learn. So go through that learning process. But here's what I want to tell you. There's a difference. Let me use a scenario, and I think you guys will get my point, and I'll wrap this up. Let me use this scenario. Most people know who Floyd Mayweather is. Floyd Mayweather is arguably the best boxer to ever hit the boxing ring. So as an athlete, he went on to make $1 billion in his career. While he was making that $1 billion, he made investments. And so he gets to the end of his career, and he's not going backwards, he's going forwards. He has said it from his own mouth, and I don't know whether he's lying or not. That's not my place to judge, but I don't think he is. And I believe him when he says, hey, I've made investments to where pretty much most days out of the week, 7 days a week, I'm earning $1 million to $1.5 million a day through all the investments I've made. And he's into crypto as well. So think about his life. He made $1 billion, and he's got $1 billion, and he's got it invested. But now he can also count on $1 million a day to come in. Now compare that scenario with what you're doing in crypto. You've gone out here, you have a job, you make whatever it is you make, and that's your earnings. And now what you're going to do is you're going to say, hey, I've made this much in crypto, I'm now going to live on my crypto earnings, and I'm going to give up that money coming in every week, every month. So you see, what he did was he went out and made a big lump sum of money, invested it, and then what he did was he said, okay, now I have $1.5 million a day income. And that's what I fall back on. That's what gives me my security at night. Okay? And so I'm just telling you guys, there is a mental transition you must go through when you go from wishing and wanting to actually pursuing the dream, the American dream of beat the 40, 50, 60-year plan and go home and own your own calendar. You see, nobody writes in my calendar but me. That's it. And I'll tell you something. I wouldn't trade that with any person's life. The fact that no one writes in my calendar but me, everything I do because I want to do it. And if I want to go get lost on a deserted island for a month, I do it. If I want to put the hammer down and work my butt off in all the different area and fields that I'm in for 6 months, I do it. If I want to disappear for 5 years, I can do it. If I want to disappear for 30 years, I can do it. I own my life. And what I'm talking to you about today is the transition, the mental toughness and the mental transition that it takes to go from living a life of 20 years, 15 years, 30 years, 40 years of getting that guaranteed paycheck on a weekly basis to then all of a sudden you come down to, well, the only source of income I have is what I've made in crypto. Your brain will play more tricks on you than you can imagine. You'll make a bunch of money in a bull market. You'll set aside enough for 10 years. And 2 years into the bear market, you'll be going, well, I sure hope crypto goes up again. Because gosh, if it doesn't, I sure love my freedom and I want to solidify this. And so anyway, come over, if you're not already with us, to our Binge Team community. And I will work with you from a distance on a regular basis to moving your life from being confused about wishing and wanting to actually pursuing real freedom. Actually pursuing real freedom. Anyway, it's a message that was on my heart. I wanted to share it with everybody, not just our private community. So today, everybody gets that message. Come join us, guys. The links are below. 2021 is your year.